I think to firstly answer your question, I think you've articulated it so well. I actually haven't heard anyone really talk about celebrity style in that way, and I wish they did, because it's certainly the way I talk about things. Is it really is about tapping into somebody's own sense of self, what makes them feel good. Like the reason that I don't want to say successful, because I always think that there's always room to go. Like if you say, oh, I've been successful, where to from here? So what I always like to think of, I think the reason that things have worked out very well in terms of having a lot of client referral and a lot of positive experiences is because at no time is it really about me. It's my job to, I guess, really kind of extract from a person the things that they love about themselves, the things they don't. Because the way, in my experience, that I've had successful in terms of deemed amazing best dressed looks and things like that has been because I've worked collaboratively with the client about highlighting their best things, but then pushing them as well to step outside of their comfort zone, but within their comfort zone, to have that moment of feeling their best. And often I say to people with styling, a lot of it just isn't about having a good sense of style. In the same way you said with Ageless, it's not about just having, a great surgeon fix things or a great hairdresser or a good spray tan, because if you don't feel good within yourself, none of that works. So my job first and foremost as a stylist is to always work with my clients and how do we make you feel your absolute best. So that's always what I go in thinking with any client, and not only that, that's the same for a brand. If a brand comes and says we want to rebrand or we're a new brand and we want to extract these emotions and feelings, it's the same philosophy. But to your question around how does that first process with celebrities work is often, and I've had different reasons over the journey. Sometimes it has been because they want to change the way they look or the way they're perceived. So for example, I remember.
What are some of the steps you take to distill that aha moment into a strategy for transformation using fashion, accessories, styling?
That's such a good question. And I love that you've asked me that, because that's really my whole process of what to do. Like often, so in any instance, and particularly obviously with talent, if I use like a red carpet as an example, because I'd say as well too, that's certainly the thing that I miss the most at the moment, is you sort of sit down with the client and first of all, you work out what they sort of love about themselves, what they don't love, what their sense of style is. And I'll do my homework too, thanks to our old mate Google. You can sort of have a look and get a sense of what their style is. So I always do my homework whenever a new client approaches me about, working with them. And then my next sort of, I guess, piece of the puzzle is to try and ascertain, what brands, designers are going to work for that person. Because in my belief, I really do feel that when you pair the right designer or the right brand with the right person, that's when the magic really happens.
There are sartorial decisions that can age us or be inappropriate. Do you?
Oh, definitely.
So what do you think those things are?
Well, but again, though, I think it's about the person. So there are some people because I often don't, I'll be really honest, I don't look at anybody's age. And I think that's probably happened in the last sort of 5 or 6 years, because there are people who I've worked with who are, a little bit younger than me. Then I've worked with people that are, 19, 20. What I do realize is it really is an inner piece of confidence. Like,
isn't it,
if you take, 100%. And I think that's probably the thing when we've been chatting, I haven't said is the first part of it, which is it's my job to make sure that when you step out, that you're feeling 100, like you're feeling confident within yourself. What are the things that I need to do to make you do that? So that is, when we've said before, staying within your comfort zone to some degree around the things you love. And we highlight that. So for example, if you're somebody where you love your décolletage and your legs, well, let's get those out. Yeah.
Do you work with hair, makeup, nails?
Yes.
Is that part of the team effort?
Absolutely. Because for me,
and the evolution of, that ageless
absolutely, style. 100%. And it's about then teaming them with people that speak to the things that they love or that they need. So for example, sometimes, and that's probably why I work with a lot of the same people that I do. And you've got some incredible people in Sydney like Michael and Max Maid and, Normie, who is just somebody I love. Like, his soul is beautiful. But again, all of those people, they bring something to the table. You know what I mean? Like in Melbourne, I do so much work with the likes of like Chantal Baker, Jake Isnorbo, Marie Uva, Gabrielle Racuso. Like they're kind of your team.
The makeup
Because
artists and
they
the stuff,
and the hair, and the
hair
hairstylist.
team.
Sorry, I should have, because you want those people to, whoever you're working with, to feel like they're working with someone who cares, who gives. I don't want to swear, but you know what I mean. Like I'm at a time where I need to chop it all off to do something different.
And do you believe that those moments are the defining moments when you're ready to let go of a style crutch that you've hidden behind?
Absolutely.
So say, for example, you've always worn mini skirts and you think that that's your style crutch. And then you get that same woman into wide leg pants and, really sophisticated blouse. Is that the moment where they become, eternally stylish?
Absolutely. And you've really probably by far, and not to be bad to anyone else who's interviewed me, that's exactly right. That is the thing. Because people say to me often, oh, I feel really bad. I was meeting with you and I was worried about what I was wearing. I was like, why? I said, why? I go, our sense of style, that is, it's a bit like beauty. I always say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Like, you have to dress within the realms of what works for you. Because where I was going before when we were talking about people having those moments, the aha moment comes when you feel amazing within yourself. And when that happens, in my view, on a red carpet, if you're a celebrity, or at a party, if you're running into somebody and you're running into an ex-boyfriend or an ex-husband and you want to look your best, when internally you feel incredible and you have the self-confidence to know that when you're looking in the mirror before you walk out somewhere, that you're good, you feel good, you look good, you are untouchable.
What are some fashion choices that instantly give you a lift of vitality and youthfulness and make you look more modern and fresh instantly?
Instantly, have a really well-fitted pair of jeans. Buying jeans and fitting a good pair of jeans should be like buying a bra. Make sure it fits properly. Make sure it highlights, like if you've got, a shorter waistline, that it's a higher waist to give you length. If you're, I think as well too, as I say, jeans of late is because, our uniforms or wardrobes, for lack of a better term, have become more casual. But casual doesn't mean having to wear a tracksuit. I wear tracksuits at home. I didn't really adopt that. It didn't really work for me. I don't want to walk out in tracksuits. It's not my style. Even if Kim Kardashian's doing it, it doesn't work for me. I've got a smaller frame. I needed my silhouette to be seen.
And do you think that when you do those things, that it makes you look more youthful, more modern, more fresh?
Exactly. I'm a big believer in having a really cool blazer. I mean, look, for me, the things that make you feel good all the time, I believe it's a bit like the way you and I are dressed today. Color. You've got pink on, I've got green on. I feel better when I've got color on. Sometimes when you're black and everything's gloomy, I'm a bit gloomy, and I think it's those little cheap.
What did you do? What were the tweaks you made to your lifestyle?
So the tweaks that I made to my lifestyle were have your 3 meals a day. And then I was very, very fortunate to connect with a company called Elite Sports Medicine. And they're basically like they train professional athletes, but they also have a gym. And so now I train 3 days a week. I'm trying to up that to 4 with a personal trainer. And I do that every single morning without fail. And it is hardcore. Like it's not, like I'm lifting tires, I'm pushing things, I'm doing things that at 39 years of age, I am the strongest I've ever been in my life.
I love that.
But what I realized was the connectivity between feeling strong inside made me strong up here, which I'm pointing to my head for everyone who's listening.
Did you feel beautiful growing up? Were you a beautiful teen? Were you, or did you become more confident, more beautiful as you got older?
That's an interesting question. I think I didn't always feel like the hottest girl in the group of my friends when I was growing up. I was always very, without sounding, conceited, I was always quite popular, like I always had a big group of friends and I always had and which is probably handy with my job, I always knew I had a good sense of style, you know, like I knew how to dress to feel really great. And I was very lucky to always have, I guess, really positive friends, a really good group of people who are still my friends today, who keep me feeling really good about myself and really grounded. To say I felt really beautiful, do you know, I think that's something that got challenged, if I'm being honest. I think once I stepped into this role where I was dressing some of the most beautiful people in our country and overseas, I think particularly after I'd had my kids, it was almost this, which was nothing to do with anybody else and completely
we all get body dysmorphia after the baby.
Yeah, totally.
Everyone looks better than us. Everyone looks skinnier than us.
Exactly. Oh, I didn't look like that? Why don't I look like that? I don't look like that. I had my baby and I still look like I had a baby. And I think that happened, and I'm always really open about that. Like I really
love that.
It was really hard because I always had this need, I've got to get back to what I was. And I was like, who's telling you need to do that? Like that was me. And that was social media too, I think. You know, the same thing that had built me up was probably the thing that I didn't realize I was using that could mentally pull me down.